community in this Commonwealth and to make an inviting place, to encourage you to come be a part of it. But you have to take some responsibility for that too. You have to make a claim on us. You know, there is a wonderful woman whose family sustained a terrible tragedy about a year ago when her son, Stephen Odom, was shot and killed after playing basketball just down the street from her house. And she told me, Kim Odom, about hearing that pop-pop and watching his basketball roll down the sidewalk in front of her house, and that being what told her something terribly wrong had happened. A couple days after that, she gave a press conference where, among other things, in her grief, she called me out. And she said, how come you haven't called? I'm leaving aside the facts and the defense. But she said to me, how come you haven't called? And I went out that night to see her. And I have stayed in touch and engaged with her and her family, and more importantly, the issues that were responsible for that tragedy to begin with. But there's a point here I make to her and I make to you. She's entitled to call me out. She is supposed to make a claim on her government. That is what citizenship demands. And I, as your governor, am entitled and supposed to make a claim on you too. See, a whole lot of people got very excited about this primary season, and with good reason. As a Democrat, I was proud of the depth and strength of the field. And the two candidates it came down to were able, tenacious competitors. And the primary season ended, and with the end of the primary season came a whole bunch of people feeling honest grievances about the outcome. And I make the point, and I do to you, you know, whether you celebrated the primary victory of Barack Obama or grieved the primary outcome of Hillary Clinton, nothing ended with the end of the primary season. Nothing ended. Racism didn't end. Gender inequality didn't end. Economic injustice didn't end. The need for quarry reform hasn't ended. The need to do right by immigrants trying to go to public colleges and universities hasn't ended. The need to bring peace and safety and security to neighborhoods all across the Commonwealth and all across the country hasn't ended. Nothing ended with the end of the primary season, and nothing will unless we come together and stay together. So, what's my message? Many of us, and me, I feel, in some respects, more than most, have had our share of blessings. But it seems to me that it is not enough for us to celebrate, self-congratulate, or even vote for those who have been blessed. I learned what I'm supposed to do from a bus driver on the south side of Chicago when I was 15 or 16 years old. When I went home on a school vacation and ran to get a bus to meet somebody in another part of town. And I got on the bus and only realized after the bus was moving that I didn't have enough money for the fare. And I stood there in front of the coin box looking ridiculous. And the bus driver said to me, "Sit down." And I sat down close to the door, because I fully expected I was going to get a round scolding and put off at the next stop. He had that expression that people who work in public service, and by that I mean serving the public, actually often have. They can size you up in an instant. And he gave me that look like he thought I was trying to beat the Chicago Transit Authority out of their fare. And I said to him, "Sir, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I've been away. I didn't realize the fare had changed." And he looked back at the road, because we're still moving. And he looked back at me and back at the road, and his expression softened. And he looked at me and he said, "Just pass it on, son. Just pass it on." A simple act of grace and a lesson for how to live. Indeed, in my current job, a lesson for how to govern. So come join us. You can sit around if you want to and bitch and moan, excuse my French, about what is not happening fast enough. Or you can get in there and break a sweat with us. You can come on in and see that change is rarely quick and never easy, but it is worth it. It is worth it to all those 340,000 adults and children who were uninsured before you brought us to power, who are insured today. It is worth it. It is worth it to the next little boy or girl who is able to be confident that she or he can get home safely from school at the end of the day. More to the point, it's worth it to that kid who knows they're going to get something valuable out of school during the school day. It's worth it to the business leader who is looking for the talent you have to offer in their workplace. So you want to make a change? Commit to that change. Hold us accountable, but hold yourselves accountable too. You can count on both from me. I'm glad to be with you, and congratulations.